Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Thinking Aloud with Mary Barbara. Uh, Today I would like to talk about giving. Yep. My mom always says this or tells me this that it isn't until you're rich that you can give. Rather, if you cultivate the habit of giving whilst you are poor or comfortable or okay or average, middle class. Then, when you get to the higher class or when you become rich, giving will be a part of you, which is true. Today, today I have been reminded and I have been humbled, and I am extremely thankful for everything I am, everything I have, and all I have attained. We're all more or less an island clustered together, in the sense that we are so comfortable, we're so wrapped up in our own world, in our own minds. If you're not there, out of sight is out of mind, even if it's for a little while. We're so bothered about our pains, our sorrows. Oh, this job. Oh, that job. Oh, he did this to me. Oh, I hate my boss. Oh, my boss does this. Oh, my mom just did this. Or my sister just did. We're just so wrapped up in our world, in our responsibilities, in our frustrations and anger and happiness, that sometimes we tend to forget our neighbor. We tend to forget what's actually happening around the world. Once in a while, it's good to pause and look around you and see that the world is bigger than you. Today, I went to visit an IDP camp courtesy of NYC. I went there today, and the experience is quite humbling. I am glad that I didn't see them in a worse state, because I don't know if I would have been able to take it or how I would have been able to take it. But seeing them the way they are or the way they were made me grateful for my family. Yeah, I will still yap, I will still get frustrated, I will still get angry, I will still want better for myself, but I would never take my life for granted. What I am, everything I've achieved, I will never take it for granted. So we went there, and a couple of traders were there. Immediately saw us coming with the vehicles. They started selling things to us and all that, water. And then a guy walks in with a tray of oranges. And my friend actually wanted to get some, but then the whole hassle of change and no change. And I saw a little child looking so longingly at this orange. And then I asked the man, how much is the orange? He said, 2 for 15 naira. Like, in my mind, like, that's quite cheap. Wow, now so things for Durumi, Abuja, they cheap? I'm like, okay, give me 100 naira. And he had already peeled the orange, so he just sliced it, and I gave the child one whole orange. And before I knew it, I was swarmed with kids, clamoring, begging to get orange. And just like this, the man's tray of orange, although it wasn't a lot, he had already had a few, or rather he had a few left, finished. And these kids were crying, they wanted more and all that. I said, if he had more, he should bring. He said, how much? He doesn't want anybody to owe him. I said, bring. And then he went to get more and came back. And when the one of the administrators for the IDP camp, a woman, she came in and then she saw what was going on, because at this point in time the oranges weren't going around. So rather than giving each child one whole orange, we started dividing it, so each child had a half of an orange, So when the lady came and she was like, how much is it? Why are we? I told her, no, I'm footing the bill, it's fine. And she was like, this is a lot. And she looked at me tearfully and said, thank you. And I say to myself, how much is this orange? I spent 700 naira on orange in total. And this woman was crying and begging and telling me thank you for 700 naira. And this 700 naira I was giving, I was already crying. Oh, I don't have money, I don't have money, I don't have money. I don't have money. I bought orange, 700 naira. I don't have money. I have subscribed, bought data, 4 gig. I don't have money. I'm doing things. And I'm like, for 700 naira, this woman is so humble and grateful. And there were kids that, some way beautiful than I would even imagine. And the women there were so grateful and they were welcoming. I now realized that I have to start picking up 1 or 2 hours because I couldn't understand the thing, but thankfully we had an interpreter amongst us. What's the moral of this story? Give. I come from a family where we give. In fact, I think we give to a detriment. We tend to give outsiders even more than we give ourselves, the siblings. My mom instilled in us that, we should always give. Being Catholic, we have a society that we call St. Vincent de Paul, and they actually act as fighters. Is that the right word I'm looking for? They help out the poor. Basically, that's what they do. They get sponsors, they get clothes, they get food, different items to go and give the poor. So sometimes they're like what I call it, garage sales. So when you bring in your clothes, they wash, they clean, they iron, and then they sell them out during garage sales so that they can use the money to buy foodstuffs or even give them to be able to cater for them, not just the poor or visiting the IDP camps, but also motherless babies home, orphanages, and even the widows in the church, that aren't well to do, they help out. So I was so accustomed to, if I have clothes that are still good, but I'm no more interested in them, I just pack them up and then I go give it to St. Vincent de Paul. But there's so much more to giving than that. Why restrict your giving to one route, to one path? No matter the situation you're in, be it good, be it bad, someone else has it way worse. If you think you have 10 million, there's someone who has 20. If you think you're looking for 5 naira, there's someone who's craving for 1 naira. Be eternally grateful for where you are, what you have, who you are. Never take granted the people that help you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that when they're doing something wrong, you can't stand up and say, oh, you're doing something wrong just because they're giving you. No. But never get so proud that you forget. Stop this selective amnesia that, I can't remember drinking. I can't remember suffering. It doesn't all go well. It doesn't make sense. Why do it? give. It doesn't take you to be as rich as Dangote before you could give. You giving can be in form of an advice. You giving can be in form of financial aid. You giving can be in form of clothing, in form of food, anything. And when you are giving, it's very important to give with a sincere heart. Do not give expecting to get something in return. My mom would say, if you give something and you know pinch you for body, you never start to give. And it is true. You have so many clothes in about that. Oh, pick up those 15 and give. It doesn't move you. But when you are giving and you say, oh, make I give this clothes. I like it's not my size, but I like it. And then you give it. You have given because something has moved from you. But not that after you finish giving that, whatever you want to give, you now start monitoring the person. Is the person using it? How is the person using it? Did the person sell it? That's not giving. You give someone phone, remove your eye from the phone. You give somebody money, remove your eye from the money. It's none of your business how the person chooses to use it. You might as well say to yourself, oh, I gave that person money for so and so, and the person did not use the money for that particular thing. The person came back to me to ask me for money for that same thing in which he asked before. Now it is up to you to use your discretion whether or not you want to still give that person money or whatever the person is asking you for. That's a completely different thing. But never give expecting something in return. Don't give someone and say, I'm giving this person so that, in the future I might need this person's help. No. You shouldn't do that. That shouldn't be the basis of you giving. What religion doesn't preach giving? I am yet to find one. Giving should be a part of you. It's what makes you human, a good person. So today I leave you with this message. Learn to give. Learn to give without expecting. There is an amount of inner peace and joy you would derive. There is a glow and a fire that lights deep within you. There is this reconnection with life and with God you get when you give. There is this sense of gratefulness you get when you give. It forever humbles you. It brings you to your knees and to be thankful to God. It makes you know that there is more to life than your little world that you orb around. And I want to say a huge thank you to everyone and everything that made it possible for me to be where I am today. And I'm grateful that I went on this trip. NYC Abuja. Thank you very much. See you until next time. Be you, be good, and be real.